Bernardi Auto, they've got Audis, Hondas, and Toyotas. They are the ones who sponsor who Maz thinks is a fraud and who's for real. Maz's Tears.
God, into the tears of a clown.
Maz's Tears.
It doesn't work with the delay, does it, Murray?
My pen.
Maz's Tears.
Dallas. Buffalo. Tennessee.
Maz's Tears.
Tear.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me get my pen.
Maz's Tears.
Okay, it's time for Maz's Tears. No Maz, of course, because Maz can't be bothered in the summer of Maz to do his own tears.
He might take a summer break, but the tears take no summer break.
The tears take no summer break, Murray. Exactly right. Maz's Tears are brought to you by the Bernardi Automotive Group. When it comes to auto dealers, the Bernardi Automotive Group always finishes first with Maz. That's because they sell and service Acura, Audi, Honda, Nissan, Toyota, and Volvo. Bernardi for now, Bernardi for life. Visit them now at BernardiAutogroup.com. Today's topic, in honor of our simulcast here and our remote broadcast here at the Fairgrounds on Nantucket, is top summer New England destinations.
I like it.
Okay. Few ground rules. These are my tiers today.
Okay.
My tiers. So this is not like some sort of objective Condé Nast travel survey.
Yes.
This is according to me.
These are Felger's tears.
Okay. So I've included places that I've gone. It's mostly those are places I've been, which is hardly anywhere. So I've called on these guys to offer suggestions. And even though I've never been there, I'm going to put them in the tier I want to put them.
Okay, fair enough.
And you can suck it.
All right, yeah, because Matt and I did, we contributed on the email chain this morning, but it turns out we're just going to be somewhat ignored, but some of our entries will make the tiers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't wait to rip these. These are going to be terrible, and I look forward to it.
I like Murray's criteria. Murray sent his criteria. I'll just give them to you first. Regarding my tiers, my parameters are simple, says Murray. Is there water? Is it mostly quiet or have an area where I can go to get quiet? What are our food options? How big of a pain in the balls is it to get there? Don't have an overabundance of either gross people or dickheads, douchebags.
Yeah.
Okay? So don't be gross and don't be a bunch of douchebags.
Yes, gross like what you would see if you go to Atlantic City. You know, like that's not that that's really a beachy destination for people around here, but if you've been to Atlantic City, you kind of know that vibe. You know what I'm talking about.
Here comes Maz's tiers, top New England summer destinations, starting with Tier 4. Tier 4, we'll give you a fourth tier today.
All right.
Tier 4, anywhere in Connecticut. Out, off the list, nowhere in Connecticut. It's not New England. First of all, not New England.
It's a drive-through state is what it is.
Second of all, you just can't convince me to go anywhere in Connecticut for anything other than taking a leak when I'm driving between New York and Boston. So F off with Connecticut, Tier 4, anywhere in Connecticut.
I don't know if anyone I know even considers that a vacation spot. Like what they got there, Greenwich, maybe? Again, you're just driving through to get to New York.
Tier 3. Let's go right to Tier 3. I think there's going to be a lot of problems here with this, but what can I tell you?
I'm guessing a lot of my entries are in Tier 3.
Tier 3. I go Lake Sunapee, New Hampshire. I've spent a lot of time. Ollie at Corgolf.
Okay.
So I've spent a lot of quality time at Sunapee, New Hampshire. It's a beautiful, big, clean lake. I like Sunapee, New Hampshire. Not a ton to do. Outside of the lake,
Yep.
If you're one of those people that doesn't want anything to do outside of the lake, it is perfect. I go Lake Sunapee, New Hampshire. Also, Tier 3. Listen to me. Your favorite spot on the Cape. Insert what you want. Wellfleet.
Plymouth, whatever.
P-Town. Plymouth is not the Cape.
It's not? Okay.
Plymouth is before the Cape. Maybe you're Chatham. Maybe you're Wellfleet. Maybe you're Truro. Maybe you like P-Town. Maybe you like the Falmouth area. You pick it. I'm going to put it in Tier 3.
I would not argue with that. It's a pain in the balls to get to. Again, that's part of my parameters. I think the Cape is a pain in the balls to get to, so that would be on lower tier for me.
Let me tell you
Couldn't
something.
agree more. This is good, Mike.
I disagree. I put it in Tier 3, but for the exact opposite reason. It's too easy to get to.
Oh.
It's too easy to get to, and you can leave whenever you want. That, I think, creates a different atmosphere than some of the more remote places that are hard to get to. The harder it is to get to, generally speaking, the better it is, or the cut of the jib of the people that go. They're not just there Because it's convenient to get to and easy to bail from. They're there because they really appreciate the place.
They're not weekend warriors. They're summering is what they're doing.
So
That's what
the
happens.
easier it is to get
Yeah.
to, I downgrade it. Anyway, Tier 3, Sunapee, New Hampshire, your favorite spot on the Cape. I put Kennebunkport on the list.
Okay.
Newport, Rhode Island on the list.
Little overrated.
Ogunquit, Maine on the list.
Love a Gunkwit.
Okay? Here's my big problem with Maine. The water is too cold.
Water's very, very
You
cold.
can't swim. You can swim down here on the Cape and the islands. You can swim. And it's cold for like people who are pussies. They still won't go in because it's too cold. But it's habitable.
But you also have monsters in the water here.
Okay, well, there's wildlife for sure.
Yes.
But if on the north-facing beaches here on Nantucket, the harbor water is 70 plus. On the south-facing beaches, it gets into the upper 60s, low 70s when it's hot. Like you can swim in it, no problem. In Maine, it never gets there.
Yeah, the cold's a problem, but I just need to hear it. So I like Wells. I like Ogunquit. They would be in my higher tiers. I love those spots.
Conway, New Hampshire. McCarthy says Tier 1.
Boring.
Oh,
I've been there to ski, but Conway, New Hampshire.
Matt, you want to buy a house? I got a spot up there.
I love Conway. I would actually argue Conway is a Tier 1 New England vacation destination, but not in the summer because
Is
it's
there water?
It's a
Saco
multi-season
River.
area.
Saco River runs
Matt,
through it.
I said summer, so
Yeah.
But either way,
Tier 3 for summer, I like this. But again, if we're talking about overall tiers for all 4 seasons, it's right up there.
he also put Stowe, Vermont. I know all these ski areas. Certainly, I wasn't going to go to Aspen in the summer. It's the best in the summer. No. I just
Vermont doesn't even register for anymore, and I feel bad for those people there. All they're dealing with is mudslides all the night and all the time. Now you can't get anywhere. All the roads are destroyed.
it's just not that. I want to go to the ski town in the ski season,
Yeah.
and I want to go to the beach town in the beach season. And I'm sorry, I'll take your word for it that Colorado and Vermont and those ski places
ugh.
are amazing in the summer. I'm not disputing it. I'm here to tell you,
It's not for me.
I'm just going to pass, okay? I'm going to go to the beach place in the summer and the ski place in the ski, and I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do Vermont and Conway. Tier 3, Wells Beach, Maine. You say that's Tier 1, Murray?
For me, I love Wells. Yeah. If I hit the lottery, I would buy a house right on
Are there
Wells Beach.
sand beaches?
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
rock beaches?
If you can afford it, you can get a sand beach in Wells. Yeah.
And what's the max, what's the top water temperature in Wells, Maine?
Oh, probably 56.
Okay, right. It never.
But again, I just need to hear that ocean. I need to fall asleep to the ocean. I want the windows open. If I can dip my tootsies in and get a little bit cold, I'm good with that. I need to hear the ocean, see the ocean. I don't necessarily need to go in it, but I need to see it.
Peaks Island, Maine.
Oh, a wonderful destination. Underrated. I hate mentioning it because I feel like not enough people know about it. You go to Portland, drive 90 minutes north, go to Portland, and then you hop on a quick 30-minute ferry, go to Peaks Island. Tiny, a lot of World War II history there. Beautiful spot. Not a lot of restaurants, but it's a favorite of my wife and mine.
And then my last entry in Tier 3, and I've done it grudgingly, Martha's Vineyard.
I get
Yeah.
it. You're a Nantucket guy. Nantucket people always say Nantucket greater than Martha's Vineyard.
It's the Cape.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too easy to get to. It's too easy to leave. It is. That remote part of it, you can't leave after midnight, so you are kind of stuck there after midnight. So that I give it a grudge like that. But it's
It's got a near and dear place in my heart, like this place does to you, because my wife and have gone there since we were dating. There's a B&B we've gone to forever. It's nice. It's quiet. It's sleepy. It's everything that we like.
Vineyard Tier 3. Sorry. Tier 2.
Spoken like a true Nantucketer.
Yeah. Well, I gotta.
Yeah, got to represent.
Gotta represent. Exactly. The Vineyard can truly actually go F itself. Tier 2. Are we ready? That was a long tier.
Yeah, but there are a lot in Tier 3.
All right. Tier 2. Keys or Lake, Maine. You ever been?
I know of it, never been.
So this is a personal experience of mine. Again, I have a good friend who has a house there, and it's a really unique spot. It's like it's a little island. You walk out a little causeway, and it's not fancy. It sounds fancy. It's not. But what a beautiful lake, and this is totally personal because I've had some great times there, and it's just an incredible spot. It is getting nicer and more, like I think Stephen King's got a big spread down there. Like if you know, you know. Keys or Lake, Maine.
A great spot,
Okay.
Mike. Great spot.
What's that? Yeah,
it's
you know
a
it?
great spot. Yeah, I went there as a kid. My aunt and uncle had a place up there. It was awesome. It was great. Sneaky
Okay.
little spot. Good job.
Thank you. Tier 2. McCarthy gives me Bar Harbor, Acadia, Tier 1. I put it in Tier 2. McCarthy says Tier 1.
Pain in the ass to get to, Matt.
It's beautiful up there, though. I'm kind of like Felger in this. Like, I don't mind the effort to get to a place like that. To have a national park like that on the East Coast, it's awesome. I love Bar Harbor in Acadia. That should be Tier 1.
Let me qualify. a pain in the ass to get to because it's remote. Not like
Right.
the Encore Casino in Boston is a pain in the ass to get to.
Sure.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, but I have the clock in my head. It's like, for me, that's a 5.5 hour ride. Here's a case in point. Our good friend Dana, him and his wife are in town. He's like, we're going to be in Bar Harbor. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll text you. Like, I'm not coming. Like, that's too far. I'm not driving
Okay.
5.5 hours for nothing.
I like remote
Yeah.
and hard to get to like that. I don't like hard to get to like
Right, you're sitting in
Two sets
traffic
of lights,
the
a
whole
lot
time.
of traffic, MFing everybody. Get out of my way, you yeah.
the Boston Garden,
Yeah,
right?
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
I'll give it to. I put it in tier 2 just for McCarthy.
Gotcha.
Does it belong in tier 2?
It belongs in tier 1.
Too high, way too high.
Murray has Lake Winnipesaukee in tier 1, and here's why I will recuse myself. Oddly, I've never been.
So it can get a little trashy depending on where you go. But if you have a friend like I do that's like right on the lake with a quiet house with a boat, it's absolute perfection. I love that. It's perfect water temperature. You can dip in all the way up until like October, depending on how hot the summer was. Winnipesaukee to me is like a number one. That's my favorite spot in New England.
Okay, Murray has it in tier 1 because they're my tiers and I've never been there. F off, tier 2. Murray also has in tier 1 Watch Hill, Rhode Island.
Yeah, went for the first time a few weeks ago with my wife. We stayed at the Ocean House where Christian McCaffrey recently got married. It was the richest crap my wife and I have ever done and probably will ever do.
And who'd you run into?
Ran into Colin Cowherd. I was coming up after I got a massage in my robe. I was like half cocked and I go, oh! And I was, made small talk with Colin Cowherd, said the show I was on. He's like, oh yeah, say hello to the boys. But yeah, he has a home like one street over. Right next door to the place is Taylor Swift's house. It was the best, and it's quiet, it's beautiful, you're right on the beach, it's white glove service, it's amazing.
So this is why when you say as part of your criteria, you don't want douchebags. And not that Colin's a douchebag or that Swift's a douchebag, but you would, that I would put under that bucket of you don't want it to be too fancy.
Yeah, well,
And I gotta bring you off of that again because there's a reason fancy people go certain places. They can afford it because it's amazing.
yeah.
So like, you've got to find your own. You got to find your own path within the fanciness because pretty much any place that's like that has its own underbelly or level that is more befitting of us.
I have no, I don't want.
And I give you as case in point.
Yes.
The fairground.
I try my best not to like count other people's money, and I don't probably, if you got it, great. Just don't be an a-hole about it. So it's funny, the staff at that place, you could tell a lot of them are used to be, I mean, they're like beaten dogs. So something happened. They were so apologetic about it. I'm like, it's cool, man. Like, I'm good. But you can tell they're like usually getting yelled at by, generational wealth. Like, how dare you treat me like this, servant? Like, all right.
Okay, thus concludes tier 1. I'm sorry, tier 2. We've given you tier 3 and tier 2. Top New England summer destinations. Tier 1 comes your way after McCarthy gives you a 90-second update. There are no commercials. Go nowhere. And we were just finishing up our top New England summer destinations.
Yes.
Okay, in tiers. We gave you tier 4, 3, and 2. Here's tier 1. Okay? And these are Felger's tiers.
Gotcha.
Tier 1, Nantucket. And that's it, baby. That's it. That's it. If you love this place, if you know this place, and you like it, there's nothing else that compares. Everything else is second tier.
And you started coming here from what? Because you've been
coming here 30-something years.
And it was friends that lived out here first, or you just come to like
Friends had
pop
a
in for the
little.
weekend?
Friends had a little. It's like almost like a fishing shack out in Wawinnett, the far end of the island.
Okay.
And so I've known it well. I've been lucky enough to have a little home here since '09. Just pure luck, and it's the only reason I can afford to be here, because that was the last true bottom in Nantucket, last true real estate correction. And not that I knew it. Just when I happened to have a little bit of money and the prices came way down, and I was able to afford a little something. You've been there.
Yeah, it's
nothing.
beautiful.
This isn't freaking.
But it's nice and quaint. And
Portnoy. I mean, this is not what we're talking about. A little place. It's like a townhouse. But I was able to afford it just then because the market crashed, and so lucky enough to be here ever since. And so I feel very fortunate to be here. But this is tier 1, Murray. And do you know why? Because it has pretty much everything you want. Yeah, for families anyway.
Yeah.
Families. My kid. She's 12. Can ride her bike wherever she wants. We can let her loose in town whenever we want. She takes the buses. There's like the wave.
I've seen,
There's
yeah.
a whole like a bus circuit. You jump on the bus. We don't got to think about it. Don't got to worry about it. Like there's that. That's part of it. For the women folk, the fine dining. You mentioned food.
yeah, oh yeah. No, there's good eating here.
I don't know if there's another place that has this concentration of fine dining like Nantucket does. So if the women and shopping, like not that I like. That's not for
A
me.
lot of fancy shops.
But I'm telling you, like the kids can play on any beach. The kids can roam around as much as they want. The women can shop and eat and do that thing if that's what they're into. Civilization. And the men, I mean, the number one thing for me is the beaches, is the quality of the beaches and the water mostly.
Yeah.
Is, I think, it's like nowhere else I've been on the East Coast. Take a look at the map, Murray. You ever take a look? The south-facing beaches on Nantucket. You go due south from Nantucket, the next body of land you're going to hit is something like the Turks and Caicos or Cuba.
Yeah,
like
I was going to say it's probably Cuba.
The DR.
You know, the DR or somewhere down there in that area is the first body of land that you're going to hit. So what you get is this, and the water pretty much comes up through the Gulf Stream, south to north. So if you're on a south-facing beach in Nantucket, you get this swell of open ocean water for over 1,000 miles, which is like, that's just unique. And those beaches I think are fit. So the beaches and the water quality to me are what it's all about.